Hello, everyone. It's me, Captain Barry Buckaroo, aka Lancer737. And today we're going to talk about some very special news that happened in the MLP universe, both in universe and out universe. But before I do that, here's my friend code, and it's in the top left hand corner. After we're done with this theory, I will visit a few people, and I'm also sorry for how late this video is coming out. As I said before to all my viewers, it was snowing like crazy where I am, and I had done a lot of work today. I'm pretty exhausted, so I am sorry for that. But we're going to talk about something very special. This comes fresh from the Equestria Daily, an article you may or may not have seen. Sunny battles King Sombra and new description of Sunny Alicorn glow in the dark plushie. Also, take note the cutie marks that are on her belt or sash or whatever that is. Unfortunately, we cannot see the other side, but if you look at it, there really isn't any other emblems like that on the other side. I don't think. So that means that there has to be at least one other character that is going to bear elements of harmony. If this is true, if this isn't just a toy gimmick, because I do recall that they did make alicorn versions of the main six. I just don't remember if it was official merch or if it was just extremely popular fan made merch that was so popular that it pretty much sold as much as an actual Hasbro product. But anyway, let's continue. A new glow in the dark, Sunny Star Scout. That's actually a pretty cool name. Plushie has been listed over at Abidge. But what's really interesting is the description they use for it. So wait, is this not an official Hasbro product? I mean, it has to be. Yeah, I think I see Hasbro right there. No, but I mean, with the packaging and everything, it has to be. Well, anyway, Sunny is the main character of the last generation of My Little Pony. She's an alicorn who plays a pivotal role in saving Equestria from King Sombra and his minions. This special edition Sunny Alicorn plush toy includes gold wings and a horn with combined hair. Oh, sorry, combed hair and glow in the dark elements on the body and hair and plays on the body. Yeah, that's weird. I wouldn't have worded it like that. Dark elements on the body and hair and plays the movie soundtrack. The perfect gift for any My Little Pony fan. This could mean so many things, as we're getting a return of Sombra in the upcoming spring special. Or is this something the series will tackle later in the year? Maybe it's just a bored intern writing funny descriptions for the toys. However, direction direct direction it goes, if we do end up with Sombra episodes, it opens up a lot of doors for previous villains to make a return. Chrysalis, Cozy Glow, anyone. Get more shots of the toy below. My Little Pony, Sunny Alicorn glow in the dark plushie. What? You just brush its hair? Wait, what part glows in the dark? I guess the eyes. Maybe no. I was gonna say maybe it's the wings. Well, maybe it's. I mean, even though the wings and the horn are gold, maybe the little yellow whitish markings on it's what glows. Maybe parts of the elements glow. Maybe it's lasers glow. I have no idea what's going on. Having Sombra come back is a big deal, but as we've talked about before, we're not even clear or sure this is literally the same universe. Granted, they have elements now on her showing, the cutie marks of the main six, but this still could be a completely different universe. And if that is so, especially since it sounds like Sombra is dead, uh, from what happened in season 9, I would question if this is a completely different version of Sombra from a different universe. So anything is possible here. Um, his story could be completely different. He might not even be a shadow pony. he could, well, crazier things have happened. Look at Sombra go! There he goes right there! All jokes aside, that was Sombra from Overwatch. But I think you're getting my point. Just because he has the same name as the Sombra that we have in the MLP G4 series and its, corresponding multiverse, which that also proves my point, just within that universe. Just because he has the same name doesn't mean he's going to literally be the same Sombra. Or she. It could be a female version of Sombra for all we know. Um, but we're not going to know the backstory for sure. Not going to know the abilities. Although, I mean, the name Sombra has to do with shadows and darkness and stuff. So if they made Sombra like, I don't know, a light bearer, that would be pretty strange. It'd be so out of character for this character. But excluding all of that, I could see this is a good thing because as far as I was concerned, when it came to villains for G5, I was not impressed. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I was feeling like it was perfectly okay that I don't have Netflix, besides the fact that Netflix is doing a whole bunch of bad things that I don't approve of, which is one of the reasons why I haven't been, getting it or subscribing to it. But from what my impression was from what I had seen of villains, I was just not impressed at all. I was like, how are they going to portray this? Is this going to be more like G2 and G3 where there's next to no villains and it's just weird quests for tea and stuff? So yes, it is good-ish that we're getting a Sombra. It just depends how they portray this version of Sombra. Anything could happen. Just felt like refreshing myself on the bio of Sombra. King Sombra, the former tyrant ruler of the Crystal Empire. King Sombra is one unnerving unicorn with his powerful dark magic, piercing green eyes, and crazy laughter. Okay, he doesn't laugh like that. Um, this shadowy shadow dweller is the stuff of nightmares are made of. Excluding anything Nightmare Moon, any Nightmare Pony, and Daybreaker can do. Although his magic is very unique and very dangerous, he is definitely one of the fan favorites. I would argue he's more popular than Tyrek. More popular than Cozy Glow, obviously. Trixie, but Trixie's more of a joke villain. So let's just rule out all joke villains. He might be same league as Nightmare Moon when it comes to popularity. Daybreak, I'm not sure. I think people might actually like Daybreaker more than him. And to hammer my point even further, which I referenced earlier, here's Sombra's other profile. Note the lack of king before his name. This dethroned despot may have a second chance to be the good pony his best friend always knew he could be. Will he take it? And that's actually an interesting point. Did they say King Sombra on the back of that box with the new alicorn princess that we... Well, she might not be a princess, but the new alicorn that we're getting. Well, no, she was a princess. But I don't think it said King Sombra, did it? Just something to think about. It could be this Sombra we're getting. And don't forget, he did become evil. It was... And for his purpose for doing so, or the reason that happened, I should say, kind of jumbling up my words, was so that he could save an alternate universe's version of Celestia and technically Luna by drawing out all the evilness and evil magic and stuff out of them. And so he became very much just like how his primary G4 counterpart is. So what if it's not the Sombra that was destroyed that we're getting in G5? If this is going to be super tied in to G4, what we're getting in G5. What if instead it's actually the alternate universe's version of Sombra? The cool one with the purple duds. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't always wear purple, but mine does because it looks awesome. This is how I govern my universe. But here's another thought. Another crazy crackpot idea. They do make a good point. What if this intern wasn't 100% acquainted with the characters they were looking at when they were writing bios for the back of the boxes? What if it's not King Sombra at all, or any version of Sombra? What if it's the most ultimate villain of all time in G4? Actually, this villain is so dangerous. I would wager he's one of the heavyweights of the multiverse of every fiction that has been created. What if I told you that this villain could very possibly be, well, Ivy Fluttershy? No, Mirror Universe Pony of Shadows. It probably wouldn't be him because how colorful he is, but just the standard version of Stygian, or the Pony of Shadows, I should say. What if it was him? Because you know, those two characters could be mistaken for each other if this person isn't, an actual fan of MLP. Take in mind, just because someone is doing stuff for MLP from Hasbro, or a company that is hired out to Hasbro to make stuff, it doesn't mean that that person actually is a fan. They should be. But it's not necessarily a fact that they're a fan. And they may have mistaken Stygian for the, you know, Sombra. I mean, the names are even very similar, and it's both a reference to shadow, darkness, and whatever, which is similar. Their appearances are not 100% similar, unless you're counting his shadowy form. Again, though, his head, tends to be the same. But it could very well be enough. They saw a picture of him in his ghostly form, which is very black, excluding his head. And they've seen Stygian, standard Stygian, not this one. They're like, hey, that's just same Stygian Sombra, tomato, and we're gonna get him. And that's very possible too, because the last time that we saw him, both it was required for both. The elements of magic and the elements of sorcery were both required to open up a portal to effectively. Effectively, though, he could have gone anywhere with that spell that they used when they exorcised him from Stygian. Anywhere. And he very well, this could literally be him immediately after being exorcised from Stygian, as he ends up into the G5 universe. Extremely angry, still a bit depowered. I'm very sure he was not anywhere near close to getting his magical powers back, even while being in the Well of Shadows. I mean, still very powerful, but also losing his host would probably have a dramatic effect on him. And it'd be interesting to see what happens. Granted, I'm leaning towards it being Sombra that shows up, but you never know. You just absolutely do not know, or never know these days. We could be getting a very, very special surprise from, my opinion, the absolute most dangerous MLP villain slash villain, period. There's so many villains in every series that exists that he could stomp at full power that it's not even funny. He's easily very close to Thanos' level without Infinity Stones. With Infinity Stones, it could be debatable. If we're talking about multiverse Stygian, then yeah, actually, he is on Thanos' level with the Infinity Stones, because he beat a multitude of enemies that had reality warping abilities, just like Q from Star Trek, which is ironic because the creatures he defeated are cousins of Discord, and Discord is played by the guy that plays freaking Q from Star Trek. So, that being said, we have time for me to visit one Equestria. So, I've chosen this Russian player. Sorry, I cannot pronounce her name at the moment. But don't forget to add them. Their friend code is right next to their name. And let's check their very glorious looking place off. I mean, let's check out their very glorious place. And it does look very glorious. I really like this. In some ways, I feel like I've seen this place before, and if I have, I'm very sorry for it. The friends list must have reshuffled again. But either way, this place looks fantastic. Some parts look familiar and some parts don't. So I want to lean towards me actually not have been. I can't talk tonight. I just can't. I just want to lean towards not having been here before. At least not for a good while. It doesn't look familiar to me. It looks great though. This is a very, very, very nice looking place. I like what they've done with every single part. If I were to pick a favorite spot though, and this is going to throw you off, it would have to be this place down here. I knew you thought I was going to go towards the Deer Kingdom. I knew it. I love this place. I like the area with the older castle that looks like the Two Sisters original castle, and also it's right next to Trixie's stage, while also having lots of shrubberies, bushes, and some forested areas. That is my favorite spot. I love this whole place. Like I said, some of it makes me feel like I have been here before, but there's other parts here that don't look familiar. And again, if I've been here before, it's because the whole friends list thing has reshuffled itself because it's not consistent. It malfunctions all the time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this pony theory and facts because, again, we don't know what Sombra we're getting. Could be pure G4 primary universe Sombra, could be a mirror universe Sombra, but it could also be a G5 Sombra, and the sky's the limit for what exactly a G5 Sombra could be. Might not look like him, might be a woman, might not have any abilities at all like Sombra. Hopefully they do though. Hopefully they're very similar to Sombra, while it being a twist that it's not. But best case scenario for me, it would be my favorite one, which is the Pony of Shadows and Flame. They don't know what they awoken deep in the mines. The dwarves, hungry looking for mithril. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great night, and good luck to you in the campaign that's going on. Peace be with you, and I'll visit more people tomorrow.